Aldrick Rosas of the Giants putting toe to leather, and we are underway in the 2019 Pro Bowl. This fielded at the 2. Oh, spinning away. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's a carry for James Conner of the Steelers. Shrugs off another. 10 yards.
The fucking lineup I said. This nigga definitely was not getting the ball.
You want to pause me right now?
Yeah.
I had to make sure it wasn't delayed. Oh, I can hear myself. I got that.
I forgot about Derwin James. That nigga be locking shit up though.
So
Derwin James, he be
Time to pick up there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it.
It's caught at the 10, and he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for the AFC. 54 yards. A shotgun snap for Love. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the AFC takes it all the way down the field to score on their opening drive. So the AFC, remember, of course, they won the last couple years here in Orlando and off to a good start in this one.
Yeah, how about that? The first touchdown of this game. How many more do we expect to see?
Hopefully a lot. I want offense in this ball game.
I don't think there's any question about it. Rarely do you get defensive struggles in the Pro Bowl.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with an AFC touchdown.
Down a little, bro. I'm trying to do that player thing.
what player thing?
That's fielded in the end zone.
Mode.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback.
Yeah, I want
and it
you to
comes
move
out to the
story on
25-yard line. Breeze in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard.
I don't see how to do that shit.
The record for catches in a season by a tight end with 116, and he thinks that he can match that number or surpass it this season.
Now the New York Giants star playing in the Pro Bowl as a rookie, Saquon Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Yo, I wish I really was a Connect at GameStop, bro. Because if I was a Connect, I would have had all the fucking games.
Now the leading rusher in the league, Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys, his second Pro Bowl. And he'll be brought down.
Yo, if I worked at GameStop, bro, all I would really buy is PlayStation cards.
It'll be a loss of 1,
That
and it'll
too.
be second
I
and
swear.
11. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an All-Star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right. That game was played out in L.A., in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then, they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham. Nickname, Automatic.
When I go to this big
Alongside
niggas,
Charles
they be
Davis,
shooting the
I'm
shit out.
Brandon Gaudin. It's NFC football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he will find his Saints teammate Michael Thomas complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination. Though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game.
I don't know. They
He
both
keeps
match,
himself
bro.
in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
The linebacker, C.J. Mosley of Baltimore with a tackle.
No,
So
I
many
look
times
want
we look at a
to see
short
AJ
run and we
Green
praise the
snap.
offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
I think I might make
He was
it
so
a running
good
back.
throwing the football on 3rd down during the regular
And play.
season. Why wouldn't it
Oh,
carry
yeah, I
over here
forgot
to
you
the
could
Pro
choose
Bowl?
any college team you want now.
That's just who you are,
Oh,
right? If you're good
shit.
at something during the, as you said, during the regular
I
season.
know where I'm going.
So what if it's with a bunch of guys?
And he coughed it up. And that's picked up by the AFC. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So what you start up as a quarterback?
We've seen this before, and we know coaches
I'm going
preach
to the
about this
ball to
and work on it
Frank.
all the time.
I'm throwing the
Catch
ball
the
straight to
ball.
Frank.
You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it.
I'm going to throw
as
the
they try
ball
to
up
get
to that nigga,
downfield.
bro. I'm going to tag that nigga in an Instagram story like, yo, you already wildin' my
That's
boy.
Hopkins. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard
I'm throwing that
line.
nigga, bro. I'm throwing that
They
nigga.
may want to go back to
snap
that one.
on
First play
all
of the
that
drive,
shit,
good
bro.
for 15 and a first
My
down.
video with me.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football.
I'm not
to
gonna
catch him
fucking-
off balance.
And he did.
I'm about to do that shit.
Aaron
go
Donald,
to the
defensive
fucking
player of the
Pistons.
year for the Rams, there on the stop.
That's my.
Partner, you know I
I'm
love
gonna throw
to
a
point
fucking
out
lob
when
to
teams have
him.
a tendency to do something a little bit
Yeah,
different from
man.
the norm. But when you run
That's
the
my
ball the
game.
first
You
play of
banging
the
out
drive,
already, my
that's
boy.
not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up
Oh, he's going to
3rd
Jarvis
down.
Landry. I don't give a fuck.
Here's Lott.
I know our vantage point might be a little
we
bit
out.
better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me.
And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Jarvis Landry, 64 yards. And the AFC adds on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct.
I see
on
the
both
ball. I'm not
counts.
playing with her.
All right, because once he took off,
I'm not playing with
I mean,
her.
let's face it.
I'm not.
That should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra
What's
point
up, Mo?
up and through by Myers.
You still out or no?
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The offense for the NFC back out there. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Bree's going to try and throw on 3rd down. He'll get this out to Barkley complete.
Yeah, I'll stop him from getting first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we're at halftime of the 2019
they
Pro
look
Bowl with
realistic
the AFC
as
out
hell
on
now.
top.
Like, they look like
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much.
They look how they look on the team,
this AFC team has figured something out. They've got the lead again, looking to make it 3 in a row since the game moved to Orlando in 2017. So the question, what can the NFC do to come back? We'll ask that of our guys as we send you back to Camping World Stadium.
Jason Garrett.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Now means the Cowboys.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action
It
here
was like
in
a
quarter
whole point
number
of time
3.
where y'all whole team made
That'll
up
be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The NFC offense heads out to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room?
I don't understand why y'all just don't want to
I
pay
would
the man.
love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that
y'all
there's a
gonna
lot
waste
of
y'all time
shouting,
going to the
screaming,
numbers.
people upset.
What
But
did y'all
typically,
go
halftime
Y'all
locker
cut
rooms are a lot
Allen
more
Hurns.
clinical
That's what
than
we need to
that.
sign.
And in this
We do
case,
need to move
are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think just they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll
We're
find
gonna
out
sign
pretty
two
quickly
fucking
here if they feel like they had something
rookies
going,
from
they just need to do it a little bit
the
better or
Lions.
not.
We'll find
The
out.
Lions
They'll
training
wind
camp.
up losing
I don't know
3.
what we did
And
with
now
that.
it's 3rd down.
The week playing.
If these guys going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Hold on.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 15. And he spins through. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. The AFC offense now heading out for their first drive of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit of it.
Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. That sack by Khalil Mack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And he's got his man. That's Landry. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown! Jarvis Landry. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the AFC is able to widen their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Breeze and the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The Bengals' Geno Atkins on the stop.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, it's Lindsey, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your time.
He's got a man complete. The 20. A big play there for the AFC. An even 80 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself. But, oh, it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
He throws, and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Breeze. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Love.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. Third down. On third down, Lindsey. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. Here we go on 4th. Lock. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there for the AFC. 43 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Throwing now, Luck. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete on the deep ball. So, Charles, final thoughts on this AFC victory?
Bottom line, nobody appeared to be seriously hurt. That's the first thing we look for in this game. Well played, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. I think that everyone's going to go home pretty happy, especially the AFC since they won the game.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long, everybody.
You already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did, huh? Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist.
Entering settings screen, you have 19 options. Menu narration option is set to office selected.
I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the haters.
Menu narration option is set to off.
Be liking my flavor, I think it's God.